good evening. So I'm making this a little bit earlier than usual because I had a bit of time. And it's just a follow-up from my last post video in Serbia, where I did a guided meditation transmission that I'm going to do here, but I'm going to give you some information before. I haven't been around in a while because, like I said, I'm going to be using less YouTube because I've been doing this for 5 years, so there's quite a lot of content there, and I previously locked some of the videos, but I unlocked them all, and I decided that I'm going to leave it like that because people still find me, and there are new people who need to hear some things, and people still find me. And although I've been very upset about some issues, some things that have been going on, I just decided that I'm just gonna leave it because it still has a purpose. Yeah. So this is going to be like the last transmission, because I'm not going to be doing light language transmissions in this way. I have found a new platform that I'm using for that, Inside Timer application, and yeah, it's been around for a while. I just didn't know about it, and it's only for promotion of meditation and spiritual content. So I posted 2 guided meditations, audio guided meditations there in English, and it's all in English because I want to expand and have a bit more clients from wherever who can speak English with me, because this area is becoming a little bit grim and narrow for me. So I don't know if that's the right word, but I can look for it now. So yeah, that's one of the reasons. And the other thing is that these 2 are, it's a membership application, so you have to download the application, and if you are paying for their content you can access. For now there is free stuff there, and for now my stuff is free because I needed to upgrade. So I in the future, the content that I'll be sharing there will be for members, and you pay a fee for it, and it goes to the app, but also a part of it goes to me, if of course I have followers and people who will be learning from me, because you have a status of a teacher there. So there are possibilities of doing courses and also live, which is well, a bit same like Instagram, but I'm tired of these kind of platforms and social networks because they became like a marketing tool, and many things that have been promoted and shared there, they don't resonate with me, and I don't find myself in the way that that's being presented. I've been using lives recently a bit. I haven't been using them before at all, and yeah, some people were there, but I don't find myself in this kind of content. So I really have a problem with, again, I can't adapt to this marketing strategies all over, because although this is my business, this is my work, this is my practice, but when you are having a practice, a spiritual therapy or practice of any kind, it's not only a business, it's a way of life. And I kind of started resenting what I saw being promoted there, in what way, because people are basically selling you their way of living. Look how my life is wonderful, and if you want to do this and other stuff. I'm not selling myself. um I am sharing uh what I do and what actually that is, because it's very abstract and many people are afraid of it and don't understand it. And this is what I've been doing all along since I started, for 8 years now, almost nine, since I started working. And kind of, I mean, I've been a bit resistant in using YouTube in the beginning, but it was doing its purpose, and now it doesn't have a purpose anymore, because I have a lot of trolling and backlashing, and people projecting on me. That's fine, people project on you all the time, but in a negative way and in a more aggressive way than before, because they're being triggered. A lot of things are happening to people that they don't understand what's going on to them, so they turn on people who are spreading the light and a little bit of truth. And basically because their mind don't understand it, and they're afraid, and for other reasons also. And I've been shadow banned. I've discovered last time when I did this video that my web page is not visible. I knew it was not visible on Google search, but now it's showing an error when I see it when I go to page there, and when I go to some of the links, I see it. But if I go from Facebook or in Google search, or I don't know where did or from here from YouTube, it's showing an error, so it's not showing me. So really I've been under a lot of pressure from all sides since the summer. I had a lot of disappointments. I had them before, but since this summer, it's like it's been really a bad influence on my channel and trying to protrude and infiltrate my channel. When I say channel, I don't mean YouTube channel. I mean my vertical channel, my connection to the divine. And I've like this summer, I've had many offers that I've refused, and I've publicly spoken about it, and I showed it. And yeah, it was happening before, and whenever I do that, I get um, a slack. But this time it was really several huge attacks on me and on my health. And the health issues that I had are cleared, so I do have an ability to self regenerate, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I didn't. But then there are other stuff that happened. The people who are close to me that were pressed, and so far in my life, I've lived long enough to see that two people that I found important to me were lured to the other side. Basically, it's their choice, of course, but it's really disappointing, and everything that happens along it and the energies that are trying to protrude into my channel along the way. It takes a lot of, a lot of protection and a lot of work on my side, and it's really painful. And I thought I'm not going to be living to see that happen again, but it happened again, and it really defeated me. And I felt really, I've been emotionally really low since I think July. So, and having to deal with all these clearings, and some clearings are mine that are needed to happen because of my own stuff. Some clearings are because of those things, and yeah, it's basically, I don't want to share that because it's, I mean, I've shared here some personal stuff, but this is like somewhere that I don't want to go at the moment. Mm, but that kind of made it harder because I became really disappointed, and now I'm a little bit brighter. But in the previous video, I was in a quite a big disappointment, and that was, I don't know, guess being healed from me. But in with everything after that, and all of the pressures, and me having to protect myself and my brother and my house, my flat, my and my practice, uh, I've been really blocked. And yeah, the situation, political and economical situation in the country is really grim. It's really bad, especially, well, since the spring, but especially since December. And the pressures have been high on us, um, not only on me, but on everybody. So people are not good economically here. Well, not all, but so there has been an agenda. We had elections, and after that, the pressures have been placed higher on us, and there has been an agenda of um, taking your property from you. So basically, if you are late with paying one bill, 201 bills, which are not that high anyways, mm, they're pushing some stuff to be able to take your property away from you for really not that big amounts. So that kind of got it. It didn't kick me that much, but got into my lane too, and I had to. It's been a lot of work on some of the planes to patch up and protect. And yeah, basically, this is not what I'm here for. I don't want to constantly be protecting myself and having to clear and deflate things. And I so point being that in late January, mid late January, because of these other agendas, I I was I almost died. I I was so bad energetically because I was not fasting. I was being hungry basically, and I didn't eat for 7 days because of many issues that came up that had to be paid instantly. And I fasted so far for 10 days for using liquid only, which is, I mean, I can do that, but this was only drinking water and tap water, which is not a spring water or anything else. And yeah, somehow, I mean, I did call friends and some of the people for help, and I did not receive one because I was on the block, and only now, like last week, I found out what was going on some of the level. And that defeated me completely. I was barely walking. I couldn't speak. I was fading, and I knew I was fading, but I didn't want to stop because it was between God and me. Because I've done a lot for others, and I still do a lot, and you wouldn't notice given my posts and everything, but I was in really big need. And yeah, even one friend, when I called, she didn't want to come. So I kind of thought, okay, this is between God and me. As long as I'm completely alone, nobody there, we'll see. If it's my time to go, it's I'll go. I'm ready, and I'll go. If it's not, then something will happen. God will do something. And yeah, I'm still, you see, as you see, I'm still here. It took a bit of time to recover because I couldn't walk outside. I couldn't walk to the park, which is like just out of the, when you get out of the building, it's there. And that's not something I'm used to because I have a lot of energy, and I didn't want to. I mean, only my brother was checking on me, but he basically can't do anything. And I didn't want to call the ambulance, the doctor, or anyone. I said, like I said, it's I didn't I just, it was really humiliating, and I felt that if this is how it needs to be, if this is it, then this is it. And I when I had COVID for the first time, I almost, when I was poisoned for the first time with that, I was pretty bad, and there was something similar then, but this was completely different. But I was not sick. I was not sick, so I was just, my heart was, didn't have enough energy. And yeah, the point is the people around here don't have that much money anymore, and I'm having this block in incoming clients, and this is my, basically my only income. So, and I do a lot of free stuff, like you see the YouTube, is everything in YouTube here, all of my knowledge that I share for free, that I paid handsomely to somebody, and I also paid with my experience, with my life experience, and other people use and speak about and create courses and whatever, which, I mean, knowledge doesn't belong to anyone. I'm channeling here, but yeah, I kind of felt like, I don't know, pointless. So with all of the other disappointment, I just said I'm gonna leave all this to God, and that's what I did. And with that, I also proved, because I said many times, that I'm not making any deals with any secret societies, and I'm not giving in to that, and I'd rather that, and I show that, because I am not. I don't want to. I have the right to cooperate with whom I want, or not cooperate with whom I don't want to. And if I see something that I don't like, I'm allowed to disconnect and not have any more cooperation. If I discover something that I didn't know that I don't like, same as people do with me. And I don't want to be pushed and pressured, and especially into giving my channel, because this is what this is all about. And I don't know. So basically, the shadow ban is also, I'm not a dangerous element, because it's not like I don't know anything. But basically, because I'm just being rebellious and stubborn, and I don't want to give in. And yeah, well, having said all that, obviously my voice here means something, and maybe I shouldn't be leaving. I mean, I'm not going to be leaving this platform, but I don't want to be threatened all the time, because every time I sit down to make a video, and especially in Serbian, the next day I'm attacked. And I really, this is not what I'm here for. I don't want that. I don't want to do that anymore. And it's not fun anymore. It's not, and it's not, I don't know. And when I speak about it, when I try to say something about it, people just say that I'm imagining things, and it's not. It's all, it's all in your mind. You're creating it and blah, blah. I'm not creating it. I physically met the person who's talking to me astrally for several years and who's doing this. And there is another one who's being paid to do that because there, there is a colleague who is bothered by my presence because, the inflow of clients. So, and yeah, I had an issue in believing in all these things and that people do all these things to each other. But because I came into this from academic area, and I've been learning about energy and meditating since I was in my 20s. Since, but some stuff are going on and it's real. And especially since 2018 onwards, everything that we have been experiencing all together, it's firstly done in that area in astral plane. They create the space for it, and because we're so ignorant about it, it is possible to happen. And because these energies are so intrusive, so heavy, they can create a block, especially with people who are energetically sensitive like I am. And yeah, like, I mean, I do I did a lot more stuff for myself before, but now I did ask some help. I do on occasion ask for help from people who are more experienced than me, and I received it this week, last week again, and there was an intrusive energy placed on me to stop my business, and I'm sharing this all publicly like this, not because I'm in self-pity, but because it's clearing while I speak, and because I want them to know that I know that some of these avid stalkers will be watching this too. Most of them don't understand English though, but some will, and some are hiding. One is hiding behind his wife, and the other one I just recently discovered that there is the where that location, and I don't care. It's just um by sharing all this, I'm trying to find the way to n- not be accessible, by being transparent, translucent, where everything it goes through you, but it doesn't even have to go through that. You don't even feel it. I mean, I don't know how can I feel something as if it's been done to my body when I'm not even present there, but that's how I feel it. I feel it as somebody's literally taking a knife and poking me into my different parts and placing stuff. I mean, I feel it like that. There was something placed in my mouth, like a symbol placed in my mouth that was creating this problem that I had here. And I know this sounds like ridiculous, and as a therapist, I should, be saying like my colleagues say that this doesn't exist. But I've been clearing my clients from this all along when they come to a session so that we can actually do a proper session. And I had to learn how to do it, and I had to learn how to do it for myself because they turn on me after that. And I mean, I cannot not speak about it because it is creating all of this that we're in. And if we are constantly avoiding it and saying, oh, it doesn't exist, we never heal it, we never clear it. I'm not saying, well, I was in the position to say, go take that scalp already and leave me alone. But, it's not the solution. The solution is to make it inexistable and heal it. And yeah, I heal places in me where this protrudes, but from what I saw after I had that healing session for myself, it's not a place in me that it attaches. It creates. It becomes so intrusive. It becomes so invasive. It becomes so heavy and aggressive and difficult, so that I become uh, I become even more sensitive. I feel it even more, and I start being afraid of it. And it's done by thoughts. It's sent. I mean, it doesn't really matter how many of them, one or how many of them there, whether that's an intention, a ritual, blah blah blah. It's done by thoughts which are amplified in a group and with certain beings that are in certain planes. And where I work above those planes, but I still have to get there. And when I'm here, when I'm living my life, I'm here. I mean, I'm embodied person. So I can't be all the time in all these different spaces, and it's making me tired and it's draining me. And this has created, I don't know how it created such a big block, but it created such a big block. Or maybe, I don't know, it's time for it to be healed once and for all. As I know with all my other clients, when something needs to be healed, when something needs to be witnessed and disentangled and for once seen, it becomes more, it enhances itself. So I feel I've been like in this place because I've been really trying for a long time to get past that realm where there are such a big polarities that they fight each other, and I don't want to be in that place. It's more about, it's about integration. I mean, like I'm polarity integrator. We all are. This is why we're here. And but that also doesn't mean that I have to put up with everybody else's shit. And basically, that's what I've been trying to say. And yeah, but that got me really disappointed, especially because I felt abandoned, and I felt abandoned by God, as if everybody's constantly having expectations from me, and I do help other people, but they're constantly having expectations from me that are unrealistic, that I don't have any issues. I don't feel anything. I'm just living in heaven, and like I'm not here, or like I'm a robot, and I'm human. I have emotions. I'm flesh and blood, and I don't live on air, and I don't live on light. So I'm not going to be a breatharian for a while now. So I mean, I need to eat. I need to pay my bills. I need to fix stuff that get broken in my house. I need to take care of other people. I mean, I have needs and I have wants, and I want to feel okay like everybody. This is why you come to see me, so that you feel okay. And yeah, sometimes I end up feeling not okay after some sessions, which I kind of got used to because it's clearing and it goes away. But this constant creating obstacles for me and attacks and stuff like that, it's, man, it's, I mean, every time I post something that I'm doing something, that I'm creating something new, I get smacked on my head. And I don't know, I mean, I know people are creating karma for themselves, and I don't know if they even care. But yeah, that's one thing and one issue. And the other thing is that I really don't want to keep up with all this narcissistic culture. The kind of personalities that I just mentioned are narcissistic. They're just doing this out of whether they're paid or just out of their envy or whatever, the emotion in them that is unhealed and mm, they're not grown enough. They're immature in that place and don't want to work on it. That fires back on them, and I know that. But the culture that is being created on social networks, I mean, I can't put up with Instagram anymore either, because like I said, I mean, the marketing strategies that are being used are major put off for me. because there are a lot more people coming from the business world who've been working in big corporations, and they're bringing their mindset with them. They haven't changed anything in their mindset. And we are all spiritual beings. We all have spiritual talents. That's fine, and you should use it. You should grow it. But come on, you can't go on 1 or 2 ayahuasca sessions or a any kinds of psychedelics or mushrooms, or I don't know, listen to one lecture and then start selling something, and then you're all of a sudden teaching people how to meditate without any emotional maturity and life experience behind that, or knowing how your energy functions in all of these things. I'm still learning that, and I've been doing this work I've been doing for almost 9 years, but I have been, well, how long is in spiritual waters? I've been like 20 years or something. So I mean, it takes a lot, and you have to know. Well, you don't have to know because you learn along the way, but the mindset, the point is for the mindset to be changed. You don't even have to do anything. You don't have to be visible like this if it's not your purpose. What happened with the purpose? Is it somebody's purpose to be a teacher or a therapist or a healer? That's fine, but it's not everybody's purpose. If we all just stick to what's ours to do, and it's embedded in us, it's embedded in our soul. Some people sing, and that's their thing, and that's fine. I like to sing for myself, but I'm not quite much of a singer, so I wouldn't go around and do that and convince people. I mean, to be healing people like that, or painting, and that's fine. That's not my talent. I do other things, and but I don't know, all of a sudden everybody is doing everything and everybody is selling something, and especially with these certain different, I don't know, not different modules, but styles, how to sell, give this much or give this much or that much, or uh, I don't know, maybe I'm just in that field, so everything is in my face, and especially around here. But this is how it looks like to me. You just woke up like 5 minutes ago, and you want to go teach, be a guru and teach the world for, I don't know, some wisdom that somebody has been downloading for not decades, but for even centuries. And all of a sudden you figured it all out and you want to sell it to somebody, as if enlightenment works like that. And yeah, the shorter it comes in a couple of sentences, in a couple of minutes, if it can come in 3 to 5 minutes, that would be just great. Because it's, yeah, you can have a lightning strike and you can get enlightened by that, but what's going to happen with your body? I know somebody who experienced that, by the way. But what happens with a light bulb when a higher voltage electricity gets through it? And everything, and I don't know, everything like that, in that tone. And make this short form, make this video, do this dance, or I don't know, sing or whatever. If I wanted to be an actor, I would be an actor. That would be my thing, and then I would be on the stage, and that would be, I leave that to the actors. I'm not, pushing myself into their thing, into their profession. And of course, somebody's a speaker, and they're and can be and can motivate other people. But I'm sharing energy transmissions, and in my energy transmissions, there is something, and people feel it. And then there are other things that they receive that there's nothing in it, and yeah, whatever. It's just that kind of disappointment. These are the kind of thoughts that were going on through my mind. And I was even wondering whether I want to continue with this, and I was wondering, which was the intention, obviously, and I was wondering if I mean, I was deciding, obviously, if I want to still be here, because all this makes no sense. It makes me, it's like everything is for sale. And of course, people have been trading energy for centuries and since forever, but that's not the point. And the soul is not for sale, and you can't attain your soul in 5 minutes, and you can't fill the space of disconnect in just 5 minutes. Of course, time doesn't exist in some realms, but it's I'm not saying that it has to be a lifetime process, but you're constantly evolving and growing into even further field of love, and there's no love there. There's nothing there. You're trading everything, and there's nothing sacred in there. And especially when you come to the point where you trade something that is the most sacred, and then for some reason at that moment doesn't mean much to you, but you're going to be learning that lesson later on. Yeah, but I've been, like I said, I've been watching, I've been observing people being turned and becoming something different, someone different. It doesn't really only mean that they came to the point where there was something hard that they couldn't deal with within themselves. But the pressures, as I see it now on my own skin, the pressure became so high, so big that they gave in. And well, I don't want to give in. That's the point. And I'm feeling with all these um, strategies that are not only the pressure that I've just mentioned, but the strategies that are being placed on us. It's like the luring in social media to change your ways to, well, you're not visible now because you're shadow banned, and now you do this, and maybe you do this, and then I'll offer you followers, and you buy followers from me, and I do this for you, and it's like I said, everything is for sale, essentially, and it, like it, we came to the point that even the soul is for sale. And I'm working here with the soul, so, and I really am working with the soul, and I know what I'm talking about, and I know very well what I'm doing, and especially what I'm sharing here now, I know very well what I'm talking about, and I know from my own skin, from my very own experience, what I'm talking about, and this is all true. It's not a theory, it's not an agenda. We are under agendas and theories because we want to be lured into this, making compromises, and all of a sudden you're making one small compromise and one small, and then another, and then another, and then another. So what is the point? And of course, I know this also requires some form of maturity, spiritual and psychological maturity to understand this, but it's such a cunning game of making you become someone else and giving up and giving in to what they want you to do. They don't necessarily have to be anyone physical. It's just like any kind of narcissistic being who has their point of view and won't let it go because they just have to be right and it has to be like that. Or if it's not, if you confront them, they become aggressive and they become, you know, unless you're stronger, unless you're physically or I don't know stronger, and then they won't. But they don't even tend to do that to those they know they're stronger than them. And anyways, with all these things that are going on in social networks, we're all becoming narcissistic a little bit. And yeah, for one thing, I'm not an influencer. I'm not a blogger. I'm not an actor. I'm not, you know, I don't live on how many followers I have on my pages. And I live on my sessions and how many clients come for a session. And that's generally what I need. So I've never placed my focus on creating big number of followers. My channels are educational ones, and this is why I haven't been placing attention to that or to marketing strategy. Of course, I do some form of marketing, but this is becoming ridiculous because everything is revolving around marketing something, and essentially you're marketing yourself because you're, I don't know, your face is up front and your, I don't know, breasts and the other parts of your body, and I just I mean, I don't know. In this, what I do, that becomes pointless. And it invites other kinds of energies that I don't want in my space. And besides, some kind of energies became obviously way too hungry and too aggressive, so they're protruding in everybody's space. It's just that I'm feeling it a bit more. There are people who are more upfront and out there than me, but that doesn't mean that everything that they're sharing is true. And most of those people, I'm talking about spiritual world, I'm focused on area here, but everything I'm seeing, most of them are psyop because they have been hired or programmed intentionally, whether they know it or not, by all these talks and um, sharing of content, and everybody's talking the same story, and nobody's actually speaking from their own soul, from their own knowledge that they remembered. And most of them are highly on drugs. And I know quite a few around here that it's making me be particularly devastated because I know that quite a amount of people are going there, and they're going there just to be banged up and, you know, not destroyed, but, you know, I've been there too. And at some point, I'm able to say, okay, that everybody, that's their experience. Maybe they need that experience and they will seek help when they need it. But I'm finding somehow myself with everything I've done and with all my knowledge and the research and search and, you know, my formal and informal education and everything, I'm constantly being pushed aside. And quite often by people who are much less. And yeah, that kind of struck the chord with me, especially when I was feeling, especially when I was being as vulnerable at that point. And because I haven't been able to finish some things and close them in the proper way like I wanted to, and circle them like I wanted to, because of lack of funds, because I live where I live and it's a different kind of area, and it economically too than other places. So that kind of brings me down, and these kind of old thoughts that I was in, and I don't know, I felt this heaviness of unfairness. And actually it was all, I didn't see it, but it was all around powerlessness and being powerless, um, with all these games. I just wanted to say that people play, but it's not only people. From my perspective, from the different points where I see it. So that comes from past lives because of my a long line of lives with where I was ritually abused and sacrificed. And I guess that's the part that was clearing, and that's my karmic pattern. It's not that I see myself as a powerless being, because I don't, because now I have a lot of powers in my soul, but that kind of situation where I was not feeling my guides, where I was not feeling any kind of spiritual power, where I was only feeling this horrible energy, yeah, that's powerlessness. That's where I was feeling powerless. And from some dreams and some things that I've been seeing that have been cleared through that in dreams, I understand that this is not only, this is the place where there is no love, where there is no God. This is a like globally, collectively, we are in a very big disconnect with God. And of course, we all do this, what we do in search of God. But, I mean, people, you can't contain soul. You can't sell God. I know many have, and all the religions claim to their versions of God and divinity. But basically, God is in you, and it's your it's your channel, it's your connection to your inner spark, but outer too, because God is everywhere. And this is what I've been shown or what I sensed. And it's all about that. In these places where there is no God, this is how we get. This is how we are. This is how we feel. And in those places, even when we think we are in connection with God and we are working with God, God is working through us. Even in those places where there's the biggest pain, the biggest trauma that we ever experienced, we tend to avoid it, which is normal. But this is the only place that we should be looking into, because this is the place of our disconnect with God, with the divine, with our soul. And well, sometimes it's a conflict between ourselves and our soul. And yeah, I'm still not looking all that good, and that also bugs me because I'm used to feeling better and looking different. And yeah, point being that I've been speaking a lot now, so I understand that this can get too much, but I needed I needed to go into all this because although it shows itself in a different way, although it presents itself differently to us, it's actually uh, the same thing in what we're experiencing now. Lack of values and lack of purpose, a lack of understanding of all of this. This is not only materialism, it is and for me complete annihilation of the soul, an existence of the soul. And that kind of bugs me. It makes me question things. Yeah, there have been other things that I've been in my disappointment with, because somehow everywhere I am, I notice what's missing and what's wrong, because it reflects in my life. So I've been disappointed with some corporations, with some educations, but that's of no importance now, because it all comes down to the same thing. Because it it's about it's not about manifesting, it's about complete removal of God from the equation, even when speaking about soul. And yeah, maybe it just enhanced for me because I was in clearing these kind of places inside of me, so my outer reality was reflecting that. But it was kind of big, and it was, yeah. Anyways, you also have to understand that around here, energies are really heavy and intrusive at the moment, and many people are focusing mainly on what else can they create into their income, and it's just grab what you can without thinking of other people. And there have been other ridiculousnesses in my life lately, like I've never experienced so far, because I've been, even in some bad situations, I've had guidance and I've been quite protected, and especially since I started doing this, I've been quite protected, and this has been like very challenging for me, because I really felt abandoned, and like I'm expected not to be human, to feel anything or have any needs or anything, and not be quite understood like that. So yeah, it's like when somebody wants something from me and they want a session or a consultation, they will call and push and send messages, and it doesn't really matter what time it is, they won't be bothered by that. But then when they book a session and they decide they don't want to come or pay for it, whatever, they won't even bother to send a message to say that they changed their mind or something like that. So yeah, this is just a small example, but you know, and constantly being afraid of what's gonna happen to them here, as if I'm such a scary person, and without them anybody thinking what actually happens to me with some kind of energies that they come with, that they want to be removed, and then they feel relief and they don't think about anything and anyone else anymore. And that kind of started, it grew on me somehow, because so I was wondering, do I want to place myself in such a position that I'm constantly threatened feel threatened for so many who don't even appreciate it. And I'm dealing with kids in kindergarten. I'm not in kindergarten, and that's the problem. And yeah, this is why it's sad that this area has become a little bit narrow for me. I want to expand. I want to expand my practice. I'm not only a therapist, I do other things and I have other offers that people around here don't seem to be interested in. And I kind of became isolated in that role of a therapist, especially since I also do work in my place, and it's, yeah, I kind of became so isolated, and especially since all of this has been happening, I've just been wondering, like, who's there for me, and I have constantly so many demands when somebody wants me to be there for them. So I'm finding new ways where I won't feel threatened, and where I can have some kind of energy exchange for myself too. And where I will feel the flow that I was in before. And having said all that, that doesn't mean that I think that you should be paid for your work. When I was speaking about this business mindset and marketing stuff, and it was about something else. It was about offers without any value, or without any real value. And of course, when you offer your time and your expertise, you should be having reimbursement for that. Or where I constantly find myself being pressured by people who need something and they're in big need, but don't have the means, and I do get out of my way to help them, which is fine, but it felt kind of, I don't know, in these moments where I was in need, it felt like I was actually giving a lot more and I'm receiving. And again, all those things that I just mentioned. So that was one thing. And the other thing is about changing, using this platform, because I feel it much lighter, and I feel that these kind of energies that I'm speaking about are not there, and they seem to be more serious, educational, and I needed to present my certificates and everything, and I don't think that trolling and backlashing and attacking people is allowed there. So yeah, but well, like I said, I'm making everything in English there, so it's different kind of audience. All that I'm speaking about is mainly coming from the area here where I am. But not but the offers that I was speaking about were not. They were coming from outside. So yeah, point is that in these places, for me, but also for all of us, are places where there is no God there. There's either a disconnect or a conflict or an anger or resentment towards higher power, towards God, towards other beings, guides. And we've all been there. Maybe not in this case like mine, but I've sat with a whole lot of people who are grieving and who are in grief because they lost somebody. I've been doing that since I started doing this work, not only lately, but lately especially because of many sudden deaths have been happening lately. And when we're in a place like that, we all get into that, and we lose somebody, or somebody we love, or a member of a family, or a child, or somebody we knew, or somebody leaves us, betrays us and leaves us. We're all in this place of disconnect there because we're all a little bit angry with our guidance and with God, because we feel abandoned there, and because we feel like they should have protected us from this experience. They shouldn't allow it to happen. And everybody, with no exception, who I've seen so far and worked so far with experience of loss and who are in grief because of loss, felt like that. And it didn't have to be a loss of a person, of a being. It could have been a big loss of a property, or a part of life, or job, or something that they identified with. And this is one of the problems with everything that I spoke before, that we identify a lot with roles and stuff. And mind gets like that, ego gets like that. It attaches itself to almost anything, and it becomes obsessed and identify with it. And the moment we start identifying with something, we might lose connection at some point, because we're not that. We're not it. Life is changeable. Everything changes, and people around us have their own lessons, have their own journey. They made their decisions long time ago, when and when will they go. And even along the way, you have exit points, depending on how far they come, and then they decide whether they want to continue or not. I also witness that with my clients a lot. So one of my lessons was also not to identify with anything. And it's on a spiritual path, it's everybody's lesson. We all come to that lesson sooner or later, whether that is a positive or a negative thing or a trait or a role. And one of the things that were also a lesson for me is that I should not I'm focusing too much on these external stuff and agendas and everything that's going on, especially on all of the injustice and everything that I'm noticing. And that's fine, but it's a distraction. And even the positive things, this is why we should be identifying with anything. Even the positive things can become a distraction when you identify with it too much. And you don't get to where you're headed if you identify too much with it. It's like I identified with the role of a therapist so much that I can't see myself as a teacher. Although I'm a teacher on some of the planes, and I have been a professor, I have been a lecturer, so that's a teacher. But now I have problems of saying, now I'm a teacher, and that's like all of a sudden became too big of a role to say. And even then, like everybody wants to be a teacher, not everybody is. But even then, when you're identified with that, you get a little bit into ego and into the distraction. And even all of these marketing strategies and everything that is going on Instagram, whether that is a video or a picture or whatever that we're sharing or whatever that we want to present, or I don't know, invite people to come to work with us, become a distraction. They are a distraction at the moment. This is why there's so much blinking from everywhere. And especially, and also the certain teachings of certain ways. And when you are representing a certain tradition, that's a different thing. But that can be a distraction too, because you're not that either. We're not Buddhist, we're not Christian, I'm not Serbian. I am Serbian, but I'm not Serbian. I've been many different things in different lives, and all of us have been. I'm not even female. I am female, but I'm not. As a soul, I'm not. I am a soul. This is the point. And yeah, that kind of became a little bit of a harsh lesson for me, because it doesn't have to be like that, so harsh. But that's the general point, and this is why I've been told that I've been focusing too much on these external stuff and agendas and news and everything, and let's share the truth, and then you become involved in it. You become entangled in it, and I get entangled easily because I'm so energetically sensitive that I'm gonna be feeling, I don't know, something across the world. I'm gonna be feeling it as if I'm there. So I should be focusing on New Earth, and that's what I want to place my focus on. A new world, creating the new world, and a community that wants to create the new world, hence to new platforms, and hopefully some other things. I've been doing other things recently that involve a lot of writing, and I don't want to share that at the moment. That's going to be announced. But as for these kind of stuff, I mean, I'm always available for my sessions. So you can ask for a session, you can ask for a consultation, you can ask for a mentoring. I am available for that, but I'm not going to be sharing as much of these videos and these kind of content like this, and channelings like this in YouTube and in other platforms where that's going to be accessible so easily. You can, I mean, you can book a session or come for a course and pay for it like you would with anybody else. And yeah, for corporations, I'm always available. So that's what I wanted to say. And I had to go on for this long because it's been on my heart, and I'm not feeling good in all of these narratives that are going on now. This is not who I am. I'm not finding myself. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like I'm myself there. And although I have to compromise here and there, it's not me. I found my preferred way of working, and I don't want to step it up into the direction that I'm not feeling in my heart, and I feel constantly pressured to do that. So that's about the information and about I'm gonna do a guided transmission now. Should I be doing it now? Okay. I'm sorry it went for so long, but it really, really has been on my heart, and there are other things that I need to share. There's another topic that I have to speak about. It came out recently, so that I might make some videos here and there with that kind of things coming up. But I don't know when. It's not going to be soon, and when I feel it, because that also instigates clearing in me. And there are also things that I wanted to speak about, of actually how people perceive me and what's happening to me because of what I do and who I am. And at times it seems that I can be who I am only when I self-isolate, and because I don't want to be translating myself all the time, and that's all I seem to do. And that's fine when you are in a position of a teacher or a therapist, or doing a session or something, a presentation. But I don't feel well with that in my other connections and communications and other things that have been going on. And mainly and basically, this is all because of that. And like I said, I constantly feel pushed to do things and present myself in ways I don't feel comfortable with. And it's not always from a place of resistance. It's mostly from a place my soul can't shine here. And yeah, I'm also afraid that I'm going to be threatened after it or pick up a lot, which has been happening. Mind you, I am working on it. I'm not somebody who is doing work with other people without doing work on herself, but still, it has become a bit more challenging than it has been before. That's all. And I'm going to be doing a transmission in light language for the connection, deepening the connection with the divine, for God. So you can place your hands on your heart, and one hand on your womb and one on your heart, and for males on their heart line and on their heart, and breathe a little bit into that place. And now as you're breathing, feel your heart and expand your heart. Inhale in your heart. And as you breathe, exhale out of the borders of your body. So as if you're expanding your body and breathing through your body. And breathe in and breathe out. And as you continue to breathe like this, bring awareness to your heart. And when you breathe in, breathe through your heart. And then when you breathe out, bring awareness to your feet and then down through your feet, as if you have roots connecting with the center of the earth. And again, breathe in your heart and breathe out through your feet into the connection of the center of the earth. And continue breathing like this with normal breath. And when you breathe in the next time, breathe through the connection with the earth and bring the energy from the center of the earth. Bring it up to your heart and breathe out through your heart, expanding it out of your body and expanding your aura. And again, and one more time. And now the next time you breathe in, breathe from the center of the earth and bring it up. When you breathe out, bring it all the way up to your crown chakra and up, expanding your channel upwards towards the sun. And again, breathe one more, all the way up to your crown chakra, and breathe out through your crown chakra and up to the sun. And one more time like this. next time you breathe in from the sun and bring down this energy into your heart. And when you breathe out, expand it all the way out of your body. Expand your aura. And one more time. And the next time you breathe in, breathe out, breathe in from the center, the sun, pull it down, and then breathe out through your feet to the center of the earth. And now you're connected with the sun and with the earth. And one more time. Now when you breathe in from the center of the earth and the center of the sun, and bring the breath into your heart and be in the center of your heart. Breathe out from it and expand. And one more time. Breathe in and be in your own center, in your heart, and breathe out. And again, breathe and breathe out. And rest a little bit in your heart. Feel your heart. Feel the rhythm of your heart. And out through the rhythm of your heart, start expanding and go to the garden of your heart. Just be there. Breathe in and breathe out, and be there now in the center of your heart and in the garden of your heart. And take a look around. See what's there. See who's there. See if anything needs fixing. Tending, nurturing, watering, and do whatever you need to do. And when you're done, go to the flower of your heart. See the flower. Tend the flower. And get inside the flower and sit in the center of the flower of your heart. And allow the divine flames to burn the dross around you and all of the heavy energies, intrusive energies, and anything that doesn't belong to you. Allow it to be removed and burnt away with violet golden flames. And when it's done, enter the pearl of your heart. Go to the small door and go into the pearl of your heart. And sit in the pearly white light of your heart, of the pearl of your heart. And invite your guides to join you. One on your left, one on your right, in front, behind, above, and below you. It doesn't really matter if it's only one of them. You can expand on all 6 sides. 4 sides of the world, and above and below you. And they will receive this transmission for you. They will translate it for you and give to you only as much as you need at this moment. And withhold anything that you're not ready to receive for now, and give it to you later in your dreams or wherever you're ready. And you can always ask them to explain something to you that you need explanation for. And ask your guides to take you in their arms and open the door and fly out with you into the universe. And they're taking you to wherever you need to go now to receive this transmission. And you're going through our sun, and you're flying and going through the central galactic sun. And they're taking you up, 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 all the way to the crystal temple, where you're going to be communing with the divine, with God, Divine Mother, Father, God. And your guides are landing with you in this crystal city and taking you to the crystal temple and taking you to crystal bed, or place of your healing now. And ask them to do that for you and place you position you where you need to be now to be healed in this area in a crystal temple. And they're placing you there. They're standing next behind you, and they're allowing other beings to come and assist you now in your transformation and healing. And one of the highest ranking archangels and seraphims are coming in. And as you're lying in a crystal bed or wherever you are, he's beginning to heal you The bed itself is removing all the intrusive and heavy energies from you, all the blocks and everything that needs to be removed now that is standing in the way of your connection, deeper connection to God and your soul. And they're teaching your energy to understand that God is everywhere. That God is within you, but also everywhere around you, in plants, in rocks, in animals, in other people, in water, in soil, in air, in furniture, in all the creations that we create because we put a spark in it. And they're connecting you deeper to this place in you where the biggest connection, where your spark connection with the divine is, your connection with God, whether that is your heart, your third eye, your throat, your hands, or some other area, wherever. They're focusing their healing on the place where your biggest disconnect is, while enhancing this place where your biggest divine spark resides. And the seraphim begins his healing transmission, whether he's speaking or singing or sending an energy wave or showering you or whatever way. But he speaks as I speak. Koeshamara kastukumesitia koratastea koshurukumedetia koratastuku ushkurutusuku niasana shtukumarataya sotoyaka sharada sata shtikiasana shtukana seako sharesete inashrikiasuku nustuku asharastaya. God is everywhere. In all of the elements that you are made of, and in all of the elements that create this reality and create this world, the elements that we use for creation. Workte oshuku and the Kurakadia Satan Kutukara Taseti Kudanuka Yeshkara Taste Shokurusu Hundasa Krishmatu Taseti. As you connect with God, remember to leave threads of light wherever you go, as God is everywhere. God is in the earth, in the soil you walk in, and walk gently. God is in the water that you are made of, and as you drink And as you drink the water, you are drinking in God. You're taking a sip of God now. Kesha kamarati siti kesha karatas te shukurati soto washurako soto shuko istata shakatasta shakastaya shoraka sa shikirasa washomanaki siti kishukuru kusto kushara sade test kishta. God is in the fire that you're a divine spark of, and in the sun and all of the fiery elements that you breathe in now, and that you're a part of. This spark is inside of you. Queshamane seti kishakul seta kushtera kates tukundu kusha isina kushakas the kish tukurutumi stis the shura setaya karasa shera no kushto. And God is in the air we breathe. God is our breath. And take a breath now as if you're taking your breath for the very first time. Queshamarika. Okushodokosumedakashite sitishi yeronko steketo yerakaya shokun kume daya shoroko un kashtu kuromenakashrekasa. And allow the God to place his finger or hand on you in that place. Where is the biggest disconnect? Moving now from you. And allow yourself to feel God breathing and living and pulsing inside of you. And as that place is being healed, the place of where your biggest connection, where your divine spark is growing and being enhanced and shining from you. This is where God works through you and where it shines from you. Yes, no kora esa de kara kora mana kasa to kumana kerash to kumena esa de kesh to kora kumeti stikish to kumena stikora tamena kesh to kesa de yoko se no kosh stukumara shush. Remember that God is everywhere. And remember to leave threads of life and light wherever you go. You're weaving life like that. And remember to be the force that binds, that connects, that spreads light, that spreads love. Not the force that destroys. And even when it's hard, remember to pick up the line when God is calling, because God is always online. God is everywhere. Even in the paths where it's least visible, where it's least presented, even when there is the biggest disconnect, there's always a force that's being sent to restore, to repair, to heal, to shine light. This is your healing. These times, this era is your healing. And even healing hurts sometimes. This that comes out needs to be pulled out. For the ones that are not paying attention to see, and follow the path of light. There's always a force behind that pours in more light, and be that force. Be a part of it, and walk softly, and be gentle with others who are not fully aware yet. See God everywhere. Because God is everywhere. And then this is what it gets reflected back to you. God is everywhere. And everywhere is God. And where this transmission ends, the seraphims and archangels and other beings who came to help you are leaving. Your guides are helping you up from the crystal bed or wherever you were. And they're taking you back from this place. They're flying away with you. You're leaving the crystal temple. And this place can be available to you in the times of greatest distress and greatest need, when you need repair. It's not available to everyone and all the time, but it can be if you need to make a bigger leap and you're in a bigger need. And you can always ask your guides to ask when you need it, to ask permission to take you there. And now you're living it. Giving gratitude to everybody who helped you. And you're coming back from the astral city, from the crystal city. And they're taking you back through the space. They're taking you back through the central galactic sun. And flying. And they're taking you back through our sun. And back through the universe. And you're coming back to the pearl of your heart. And close the door behind you. And sit there with your guides a little bit and ask them if you need to ask them something now. If you need an explanation or a message or something. And now let them go to their home, and they're always available to you. And you can ask them when you need them to come and help you. And come out from the pearl of your heart into the center of the flower of your heart and close the door. And sit there and allow divine flames to mold everything that you just received in your energy and in your DNA. And allow it to shape it into you. And when it's done, come out from the flower of your heart and come to the garden of your heart. Take a look around. See if anything needs to be done now. If you need to leave something there, leave behind, not to take with you, for it to be buried or dissolved or destroyed. Or if you need to plant some seeds. And while you're doing that, a symbol of divine appears in your hand. And leave that symbol somewhere where you want it to be in the garden of your heart, in a significant place where you can always come and visit, use it, learn how to use it, and expand from that place. And now, leave the garden of your heart and focus on your breath and the rhythm of your heart and start coming back, all the way back from the garden of your heart. You're flying or flowing or gliding or swimming or whatever you're doing, and you're coming back with your breath and with the beat of your heart, slowly coming back to the surface and coming back to your room and coming back to the place where you were sitting or lying and coming back into your body, feeling your body. You're fully present, fully aware, and on 1, 2, 3, you're fully back and fully present and fully aware. And welcome back. I hope that meant something for you. I know it took a while, and yeah, but I didn't want to cut and make another video because it would cut my flow, and I was in Yeah, well, as I was speaking in a different kind of energy, but I don't want to burst this bubble now that we created, but I just kind of needed to say that before creating this transmission, because there are a lot of people struggling at the moment with different things, and regardless of who we are and what we do, we're not immune to that. And a little bit more respect to other people's feelings and who they are, what they represent is needed everywhere. And that's why I felt a lot in my life. And for those who are following this consistently, it's just a call to have a little bit more understanding and respect of who I am, what I do, what I present, and what is actually transmitted here, because I felt humiliated a bit and devalued. And yeah, see you next time. Thank you for your attention, and much love.